Ever feel like starting a business is like trying to build a skyscraper, but in the middle of an earthquake? Yeah, the ground is always shifting. But what if you had a blueprint? So today, we're going to cut through all of that and distill mountains of research into just that, the 2025 Playbook for Success.
So what is the playbook for success right now? You can pretty much forget the old rules. In today's landscape, what are the key moves, the essential strategies, and the critical things you absolutely positively need to master? Well, let's dive in and find out.
You know, the first rule of building anything that lasts is location, location, location. You wouldn't build a skyscraper on a fault line, right? Well, in business, that means finding stable, high-growth ground. It's all about spotting that next big wave before you even think about waxing your surfboard.
So where is that solid ground right now? Let's take the Indian economy as a perfect case study. All the trends are pointing to four sectors that have just incredible momentum. Think of them like these massive currents of opportunity: IT and digital services, green energy, defense, and of course, electric vehicles. In these areas, you've got government pushes, big consumer shifts, and global trends all creating these huge tailwinds for growth.
But you might be wondering, why these sectors? Let's just zoom in on green energy for a second. Look, its growth is no accident. What we're seeing is this perfect storm of powerful forces all coming together. A huge government push for clean energy, the cost of solar and batteries just plummeting, big corporations pouring in money for sustainability, and a flood of global capital. And when you get all that together, bam, you've got an unstoppable wave of opportunity.
So, you've spotted the wave. Fantastic. But a great wave is useless if you don't have the right surfboard. And in business, that surfboard, that's your business model. It's the engine that's going to turn your big idea into a real revenue-generating machine. Let's take a look at how you build that engine.
Okay, so at the most basic level, you're either selling to other businesses, that's B2B, or you're selling directly to people like you and me, that's B2C. The difference here is huge. B2B is all about logic, building these long-term relationships, and a sales cycle that can take months. B2C, it's often way faster, much more about emotion and driven by convenience. And trust me, choosing your lane right here, it changes everything that comes next.
Now, in our digital world, there's one engine that has just taken over, especially in tech. It's called Software as a Service, or SaaS. And the genius of SaaS is that you stop selling a product just once. Instead, you're selling ongoing access to it. This single shift from one-time sales to predictable, recurring revenue has completely changed the game for the entire software industry.
So how does this whole engine actually, work? Well, believe it or not, it all boils down to a single elegant equation. And get this, it's not just math class stuff. This is the secret code. It's the very DNA of a modern SaaS business. If you can understand these pieces, you understand the whole game. All right, so here are the pieces of that secret code. Your company's long-term health is basically a function of just four levers you can pull. First, acquisition. How many people can you even get to pay attention? Second, conversion. What percentage of those people actually become paying customers? Third, ARPU. How much money are they paying you on average? And finally, and you really got to pay attention to this one, churn. What percentage of your customers do you lose over time? Every single successful SaaS company is obsessed with these four things.
Okay, so you've got an engine. But what good is an engine without a skilled driver in a car that's actually built to last? Now that we have the model, we need to talk about the people and the organization you need to really pull this off. This is all about the human element of the blueprint.
You know, when you really look at successful founders, it turns out it's not about having one magical idea. It's about a core set of traits. It's having the resilience to get knocked down 10 times and get up for the 11th. It's the vision to see a future that doesn't even exist yet. And it's this obsessive commitment to always be learning, always adapting. These are the things that really fuel the journey.
But listen, a great founder can't do it all on their own. The business itself has to have that winning DNA baked right in. Is the whole organization built to learn and innovate? Is there a clear strategy that everyone understands? Is there a deep, genuine obsession with the customer? A visionary founder is amazing, but the entire organization has to be built for success.
And really, if you boil all of this down, the founder, the team, the systems, all of it, one thing stands out above everything else. As this quote from the Oxford Review puts it perfectly, real success isn't some fixed point. It's the agility of the entire company to deal with constant, non-stop change.
All right, we've got our spot, we've got our engine, we've got the crew. The last piece of the playbook is the dashboard. What are the key numbers that tell you if you're actually winning or not? Think of this as the engineering report card for your entire business.
Of all the numbers blinking on your dashboard, there is one that is the silent killer of subscription businesses, and that's churn. It's a simple number that just measures how many customers you're losing. Seriously, a high churn rate is like trying to fill a bucket that's got a massive hole in the bottom. You can pour new customers in all day long, but that bucket is never, ever going to get full.
So what does good actually look like? Well, for your typical SaaS business, a 2% monthly churn rate is excellent. That means your bucket just has a tiny little leak. 5% is pretty average, but once you start hitting 10% or more, man, the alarm bell should be screaming. At that point, you don't have a marketing problem, you've got a fundamental problem with your product.
Okay, let's make this super real for a second. That average 5% monthly churn, that means the expected lifetime of your customer is just 20 months. Just think about that for a moment. All the effort, all the money you spent to get that customer, and on average, they're gone in less than 2 years. This is exactly why getting a handle on churn is the real secret to long-term sustainable growth. So there it is. Spot the wave, build the right engine, get an agile crew, and then watch that dashboard like a hawk. The playbook is right there, on the table. The only question left is, where are you going to build with it?